What's up, everyone? This is Francisco, and I'm recording this video because I thought about a good way to kill flies. And technically it will be like super dangerous, as this device that I'm thinking about will have it'll be a moving device, and as soon as the flies get trapped, they'll get killed. And it's similar to the Venus flytrap. I seen something similar to it on YouTube, and I will look for it and add it and link to it in the description section. But technically, like, basically the flies will go in the teeth of the device, small enough so the flies won't be able to fly into and escape, and the thing will go down very fast and slice them in half, smash them. Then I'll open up again, and it will just keep doing that. It's either that or something that will go through and then come back and then go through it again. So something like that. So when the fly's there, it'll just smash it. Kind of like this fence here, this gate, but the fly, being the size of like maybe 2 or 3 of these things, so it could really kill it. And I think with just a little bit of fly bait, fly attractor, I think that it will kill them. Oh yeah, like this. Look at my keys. Something like that. And then the little blades will go through that, but the flies won't be able to go through that, therefore killing them. And it will be so fast that it'll kill the flies. It'll smash them. But like, let's say someone were to stick their hand in there, it won't be strong enough to injure someone, but it will be strong enough to kill flies, because obviously it doesn't take much to squash a fly. But if someone were to stick their hand in there, it'll probably pinch their skin, probably even bruise it a little bit, maybe create cuts, but maybe not to that degree though. So someone would have to create something like that. Think about like the Venus flytrap. Even with a bunch of spikes, so the machine will just sandwich them very fast. Faster than a fly can travel. then that will be good. Something like that. I'm thinking about another one now, like a fly trap that will have one side will have a bunch of spikes, while the other side has some holes, or it would just have to be a pattern, because I could even think of offsetted, um, like a flat surface, but a pattern, a vertical or horizontal pattern. So when the flies land on there, they'll be able to smell the bait or whatever from like a bottom tray. Then when the top lid closes very fast, boom, it'll just squash them all. Then it'll reopen, and it can be set on a timer, so it can open and close at like a certain sequence. And like, other than that, I don't really know what else to do for this fly killer trap thing. But I know there's a lot of people out there struggling with flies and flies reproducing and stuff like that. Because technically, a regular fly trap in a container with a bait is attracting flies, and they lay their eggs in there. And then eventually you see the larvae, the maggots growing, and you'll see them, crawling inside that container. So I don't know if any of them actually escape. And if they are escaping, then that's just defeating the whole purpose. So to permanently delete flies in a whole city, it would have to be something with this in mind. Another great fly trap is the solar fly trap. You guys should look it up. It has like an upside down cone, and it's made out of like steel, or mesh, metal mesh, metal screening. They fly up, they don't know how to go back down and escape, and eventually they die. And basically you could put, fly bait or poop or anything they're attracted to at the very bottom. Tuna, whatever, fish, meat, chicken, whatever. And then when they fly up, they get stuck in there and they die. That one is very effective. But the one I'm thinking about will be more like a smart fly killer. Especially with all the technology we have in these times and these days. And that thing can run, it could be on a timer. So it could turn on early in the morning and turn off at night, just to kill flies. So if you guys have, cattle, horses, pigs, whatever farm, and you guys don't want any of that on your property, because it's just a flying infestation. Flies are flying bacteria. That's the way I look at it. And it's not good for anything. It's not good for us humans, and it's not good for animals. And according to the research that I have performed, or just from watching YouTube videos, there was one video where they stated that flies cause 65% of diseases in humans. So they actually infect humans. There's 65 known causes, and probably more, but according to that video, it was 65 known causes that flies inflict on humans. And that's not even including animals, your livestocks, your investments out there. So, these little things, in my eyes, they need to get eliminated. They shouldn't even be around outside. That's just disgusting. That's death flying around. Airborne freaking bacteria. So yeah, think about the Venus flytrap, and create something along those lines. And I hope that my hand illustration and my word illustrations, pretty much painted a picture for all of you to go by. Especially for some of you who are in the business of killing or trapping flies. I think this is a good way to to kill them, and I think a lot of people will invest in something like this, because once it's set up, all you would have to do is add some fly attractant to it, and it would just run and operate, on a timer every single day. Because flies, I think they go to sleep at night. They go to sleep just like birds. They go back to wherever they go. Like birds, they go to their nests. Flies, I don't know where they go, but they go and sleep somewhere. And they're not really good at flying when it's cold. So, this idea would be great for day use, just for during the day. So yeah, something like that I think will be super cool and very amusing to look at, like a form of entertainment for a little while anyway. But I think it will work because just like the Venus flytrap, it will close on them really fast, faster than they're able to fly. And I think if I'm correct, they're able to fly 10 millimeters per second. But that is not, like included while they have land. I don't know if it's from 0 to 10 millimeters per second at that state, or while they are in mid-flight when it's 10 millimeters per second. And I could be wrong. Yeah, but that's what I seen in a YouTube video. So they're pretty fast. They travel very, very fast. They're super fast flying flies, insects. So I don't know how long it actually takes them, but a lot of you have actually seen, like if you try to smack one, how fast they are comparatively to, hand movements. But I've attempted to smack one with my hand, and I mean, my hand must have been traveling a little bit over 10 millimeters per second. And right when I was like halfway, right when I'm like halfway, the flies just fly away. So this device would have to shut close, maybe 10 times faster than they are capable of flying. That way, you people will guarantee that they get smashed. So maybe it could have little holes. So the little holes will allow the bait, the fragrance, the scent, the fly attractant to go out and attract flies. And then the little lid thing will have, little, like a groove, the same pattern. Kind of like, okay, I could picture some upside down cones at the bottom with a little hole at the bottom. So the fragrance, the scent can go out. And then the lid, it will have the opposite pattern, which will be a cone. So it won't be necessarily a needle. It will be a cone, like similar to a screwdriver. And it will fit perfectly right there where the scent comes out from. That way, the flies will be attracted to the bait. They'll land on there. They'll try to eat it or whatever. And then every, 5 seconds or so, it will shut close. Every 10 seconds, whatever, you people can think of. But that would definitely kill them. And I think people will love them, and I think that they will sell. But I don't have the technology, I don't have the knowledge, I don't have, the money to get this kickstarted. Even for me to make a prototype, my type of prototype would be, placing some food at the bottom of like some concrete with a pulley, a piece of, some rope with a big weight on it, piece of wood or something, big old weight. That way when I let go of the weight, it'll go crashing down. Like, it'll travel so fast and it'll just smash them. Like that. That'll be my prototype. And then I'll raise it manually. And then the flies eventually will go back to it, the ones that didn't get smashed or the ones that are attracted to the bait. And again, boom. But I mean, obviously I don't want to stand there and do that all day long. So that's when electricity and machines, solar, batteries, stuff like that will be useful for this type of machine to kill flies. But yeah, like I seen this one windmill. It was like a wind turbine windmill. And it was so creative, and it was like, it had a certain pattern to it. And it was, churning with the wind. And this is how I got the idea. So it was actually like a week ago, but I just decided to release it from my mind. Into the atmosphere is, I'm releasing it, this energy to all of you, because I can't do nothing about it. And I'm always trying to come up with new ideas, new implementations on existing ideas, existing products, inventions, or even services that we humans provide to one another. So yeah, I think this will be super good because we will know that they will be dead. And they have no chance of escaping this. And, if the machine fails to kill some, that escape or that weren't inside this enclosure, this radius, within this squasher machine, it will open up again, and eventually those flies will go back into the center of it or around it, and then bam, they'll get smashed. So that's the beauty about this machine. Not like like traditional fly traps. They are what's it called? Well, they're effective and everything. They're powerful. They get the job done, but there's still that percentage of them escaping. And I think with this, Venus flytrap concept idea, it will just, like a Venus trap. There's no escape. Once that Venus trap closes, and it has those little spikes, and it closes like this. Right? It's open like that. So technically, you guys can probably even have, like at the bottom, like think about like this container right here. See this container? See how it's open right there? Well, right here, it has this opening, this thing. Well, imagine if this was actually closed like this. So this had like a container, and there was a bunch of little holes right here. And it had like a screen. So it was like, it's more like this. But more open. Like, kind of like that. It'll be open. So, and then periodically it'll just go and slice them. So it'll be like, because I can't extend my fingers out like that once they're like this. But they'll be open, all the way like 90 degrees. And then it'll do that. And then, so it'll be like this. Then, after a certain amount of time, it'll do it again. But, I mean, it could even be like that, And it'll just squash them very fast. They'll land like right here. That type of concept. So yeah, I was watching this other YouTube video, and there's actually a pretty good one. I liked it. I just never checked it out, like the pricing and all that. But I will search for it, like I mentioned earlier. And maybe that windmill idea, where this whole idea was inspired. But technically, we have the windmill and the other fly trap, right? So that other fly trap is super effective as well, because there's like a little engine, a little thing that moves around, and then it catches some flies, and then it puts them alive in the center of this machine. And for those of you who are breeding pigs, you know, breeding animals, or who have who are growing like vegetables and fruits, you know, this will be a great idea for all of you out there, because you guys can actually attract them on the sole purpose that, you know, the machine will kill them. So once this is set up, you know, I'm thinking that you guys will be able to just rinse it off or something very quickly, something like hassle-free, without even touching it. You know, just rinsing it all off and just reapplying more of the bait. And it will be more of a fixed fly killer year round. But like I said, it could be dangerous though, because I don't know what else would be attracted to it. Like, let's say a bird landed on it. You know, if a bird landed on it, that wouldn't be good. So I don't really know. But I doubt it. No, you know what? Maybe a bird will land on it. You know, we would just need to think about a way to allow the flies to get into it, but not the birds and stuff like that. So it would have to have a security type of screening with, you know, a pattern like circles to just allow the flying insects in there, but not endanger cats or birds or, you know, lizards or whatever else might be out there. So they'll be small enough just to allow the flies to get in. Pretty big flies. Similar to the fly zapper. Yeah, the fly zapper. There's the TBI that I just purchased. TBI fly zapper Zap like Pro is called 360, and I can show you guys a like a quick picture of it real quick. Okay, so that's basically an electrical grid system. So that one right there requires electricity, and the flies are attracted to the light, and they get zapped to death. And there's even you know, some small, like a small thing of bait that it came with it. So this is actually it right here. TBI Electric Zap Like Pro 360. And that's the picture of it right there. So this one, it has like a little bait thing. Came with a little bit of bait. This is it right here. The user manual. And you know, interestingly enough, with this one, it actually has like a lid at the bottom, but it has two holes at the very base of it. But if you guys add some silicone, which is also in fish tanks, you know, to seal so the water won't leak out. So silicone, if you guys seal it off with some silicone, you guys can actually put some fly bait in there during the day. So they won't technically be attracted to the light. But when you turn the device on, the light does turn on. But however, they will be attracted to the bait. When they go to eat the bait or whatever, drink the bait, and they happen to land inside the grid system, they will die. So here is showing instructions of how to open up this fly attractant, or this is actually a mosquito attractant according to this. I'm technically trying to kill flies, not mosquitoes. So what I did is I altered it. I even created another video of how I went about it, how I did it. I basically got a container, I put some tuna in there, and then I put the machine right over it, on top of it, and it killed a lot of flies outside. But technically, you guys can just use the little bottom tray, like this. But instead of using this little bait thing, like I said, there's two little holes. So seal them off with silicone and fill this up with fly bait, fly attractant. So it'll have liquid in there, and just leave it outside. And, you know, you people will kill a lot of flies that way as well. So that is just another way of utilizing something that already is out there. You know, a real product that sells, that's already, that someone took considerable time thinking, plotting, investing into. And this thing works. It's super powerful. It's super powerful because I think the wattage is like, yeah, right here. Technical information, input voltage 110 volts, AC 60 hertz, light source 20 watt UV tube, high voltage metal grid, 3,800 through 4,200 volts of electricity. Okay, so with that alone,